All right, this is our agenda, and it is 10:30. We are going to introduce Kyle Corbin from DODD to kick our event off today.
All right, thank you, George.
All right.
Hear me? Here we go. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the event. I'm very excited for this Tech Ambassador program grant, something that's been in the works for quite a while. This actually started with a conversation with Kim Schoaf, oh gosh, probably 3 years ago, where she said, while we were talking about technology. So if you don't know Kim, she's with DD Council. But we were talking and she said, you know what would be great is if we could find some individuals that are out there working with technology that would be willing to share their experiences and maybe we could pay them for it. And I thought, wow, this is a great idea. So I kind of filed that one away. And a few years later, we had the opportunity to utilize some grant money. I pitched the idea to Stacy Collins and she said, go for it, write it up. So we did, and SOCOG was the recipient, and this is the beginning of that process. And so very excited to see where it goes, very excited for the ambassadors that were selected and ready to move forward, and also very excited to see what George and the rest of his team puts together for this project. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. Welcome to this kickoff event, and just can't wait to hear all the wonderful things that are going to happen. Thank you, George.
All right. Well, thank you, Kyle. We appreciate all your support, and I'll mention a couple conversations we had with Kyle here as we get going. But welcome everybody. It is great to be with you all this morning, and I really appreciate all the folks that we've had come out. We had a great response. We've got maybe 225 folks who had registered for this event today. We're so excited to have you, and really excited to introduce our tech ambassadors to you today to kind of tell you a little bit about our journey. So we've got just a couple of little housekeeping items to take care of, and the first one is this poll here. So I'll just continue to talk, but please do take just a second and answer these two brief questions that have to do with ASL interpreters and types of technology that you are interested in. Okay, one more thing that I'll mention is that there will be a survey at the end of our event today when you leave the event, and it'll just have one question, and that's just for you guys to type a little feedback for us to tell us how we did. So we hope that you will take advantage of that, because we would really like your feedback. You know, if you noticed the agenda a couple of minutes ago, you'll note I'm just going to take a minute, give you a little history and overview of the program. We're going to introduce our core team to you very briefly, and then we're going to kind of get to what the meeting is all about, and introduce our tech ambassadors to you and let them tell you about themselves. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of time at the end of the meeting for Q&A. All right, so we have been on a journey. I'm going to share my screen again here. And I would just start out by borrowing a little phrase from the Grateful Dead and tell you what a long and strange trip it has already been. And we are nowhere near the end of this journey yet. So this journey started for us a little over a year ago. So SOCOG was actually awarded this grant back in very early 2020. So the grant has two goals. And the first goal is, of course, to help encourage individuals with disabilities in the state of Ohio to use technology to increase their independence. And then the second goal was actually for us as a team to kind of gather feedback during all of the events that we put on, to take back to DODD and make recommendations to them about how they can continue this effort to encourage people to use technology. So that's our destination, and the route that the grant had mapped out for us to take to get to that destination was to have 12 in-person events in places all around the state of Ohio where we would recruit and train these tech ambassadors, and then they would conduct peer-to-peer mentoring in-person events around the state. So our core team got together and we kind of tooled along in first gear, doing some high-level planning on that through last February and into early March. And then we all know what happened next, right? We had a big detour called COVID-19. So it was not very long after the middle of March that we kind of pulled our metaphorical tech ambassador bus over to the side of the road and put that thing in park. And we just kind of let it idle for a little while, weeks, and that turned in through April and May into months. About the middle of June, we didn't have any real hope that there could be in-person events anywhere on the horizon that we saw. So I gave Kyle a call. We talked it over, and we had considered maybe just turning the key off, and maybe thinking we wouldn't be able to reach our destination here. But if you know anything about Kyle, this will not surprise you. We talked about the idea of doing virtual events, and he was very supportive of that idea. He said, anything that we can do to promote how technology can help folks is a good thing. So that sort of re-energized our core team, and we got back together and we kind of pulled out our map and we said, we need a new route. So what's that going to be? And it's going to be virtual events. Okay, so and we kind of shifted from first gear into second gear, and it was time to recruit some tech ambassadors. So I was able to attend a couple of meetings with SSA directors around the state and superintendents around the state. We sent emails to tons and tons of people all over Ohio, with many organizations, not just county boards or COGS, just asking, informing them about the program and asking if they had recommendations to us for people who could be tech ambassadors. And boy, did we get some great responses. We had the best time talking to our candidates and interviewing them and just hearing their passion for advocacy and their passion for technology. And what an encouraging thing that was. At the end of it, we were so encouraged by that, that I had to call Kyle again and say, Kyle, I know the grant only originally called for 4 tech ambassadors. How about 5? Would you be okay with that? And Kyle was very supportive of that idea. So we ended up with 5 tech ambassadors. And you may have noticed if you watched our Facebook or Instagram, we posted a little video about offering the tech ambassadors those positions. That I felt that was pretty neat. So then we shifted into third gear, and that's where we've been since the 1st of December. We've been doing some professional development. We've been doing some strategizing about how we're going to carry out these virtual events that I'll share with you in just a second. But one really cool thing that came out of some of those meetings was something called the Tech Ambassador Code. So we asked our folks to just think about what it meant to them to be a tech ambassador. And then we kind of listened for 20, 30 minutes and took notes, and I kind of synthesized all that down into sort of 8 statements that became a Tech Ambassador Code. So we are having a video put together about that. So check Facebook and Instagram early next week, and you will see that. Speaking of Facebook and Instagram, I'll just mention very quickly, we have our website, which is ohiotechambassadors.org. If you haven't visited that, gives you an easy way to reach our tech ambassadors. And then we've got Facebook and Instagram. You can just search for Ohio Tech Ambassadors on those 2 platforms, and you should find us very easily. And then coming very soon is a YouTube channel as well. We intend to record all of these events and make them available to people who cannot attend them live. So that will include this event as well. All right. Can we end the poll there? I'm still seeing that on the screen. Can we wrap that poll up? Perfect. All right. So what was our new route to get to our destination? Here's what we all decided to do. We're going to split the state up into 5 regions. So we've got 5 tech ambassadors, and we're going to assign a tech ambassador to each region. And that person will be the primary point of contact for that region and will be the primary facilitator when we have events in that region. So the next 10 events that we have are going to be regional in nature, and you'll get to see who's assigned to what region here very shortly. Okay, so here's the loose schedule, and we're going to have another poll pop up here in a moment, but we're going to have 12 virtual events. The first one is today. It's the kickoff event. And then what we'll do is have what we're calling round one of these regional meetings. We're going to have one meeting in each of the 5 regions, and those will happen through late February and early March. Then we'll take a short break, maybe tweak our process if we need to. We'll come back and have a second round of those regional meetings. Again, one more meeting per region. Each one of those facilitated by a single tech ambassador that's assigned to that region. And then the very last meeting will be a statewide wrap-up event, much like this, where we'll get to come back to you all and tell you about how things have gone. All right, so that brings us to today, and we are great. By the way, let's stop for a second and take this poll. We did want to make these meetings just as accessible to you all as possible, so we want you to take just a second, if you would, and tell us what times are best for you so that we can plan to get the most folks there. All right, so we're officially shifted into 4th gear, and hopefully the road that we take to the destination here isn't too bumpy, because we got a long way to go and kind of a short time to get there. All right. I'm going to back up one slide, because that reminds me that the next thing that we need to do is sort of introduce our core team here. All right, so you know me, I'm George Myers. I'm the grant director. I have basically taken responsibility for big picture planning, for professional development for us, for some little coaching on public speaking that we're doing with tech ambassadors and things like that. But I do want to introduce the other 3 members of our core team and let them actually talk to you briefly. So I'll just start out, and we can probably end this poll before we have our first one come on there. And I'll introduce to you Courtney Davis, who is Special Projects Manager at SOCOG, to kind of tell you what her role is going to be.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Courtney Davis, and like George said, I'm the Special Projects Manager at SOCOG. So other than special projects, working on special projects, I get the opportunity to facilitate our Southern Ohio regional advocacy group. And I also work with providers in our region, independent providers and agencies, just to make sure that they're in compliance with DoD standards and Department of Medicaid. My role on the core team here is just to work one-on-one with our tech ambassadors in a mentoring position, just to be here for any support that they may need through the grant period to accomplish the goals of the grant. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Jeremy.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jeremy Joyce. I'm the Medicaid Services Manager down in Pickaway County. Before that, I was an SSA for 3 years. My role as part of the grant is kind of the SSA liaison, kind of here to help our ambassadors or any SSAs, families, answer any questions they have regarding tech, kind of offer suggestions. There's challenges, issues that come up. Especially as a former SSA, I can kind of understand those issues or challenges that pop up for SSAs, for families, for individuals looking into tech, seeing how that can be kind of challenging, difficult, especially as it's newer to a lot of people. Moving forward, like George mentioned early, we are looking to host kind of like an SSA town hall in a couple months, maybe between rounds of our regional meetings. Give SSAs a chance to bounce questions off of us, maybe offer some suggestions that they have, kind of hear what the challenges are for SSAs, so we can kind of work through those, maybe come up with some solutions that can help everybody. Especially right now, obviously we're going through the pandemic, and even without that, we have provider shortages. So kind of moving towards more tech-oriented options for individuals, kind of promoting independence, giving them a chance to kind of live on their own if possible, or just be more independent using tech. So hopefully we can find ways to move that way and help people. Thank you.
All right. So I'm just going to really briefly mention that the fourth member of our team, who's Heidi Cunningham, she's doing admin support. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us today. She had a death in her family. But she is a super important part of our team. She is the person who's making sure that our tech ambassadors get paid. She shipped out their nice tech ambassador shirts to them. And she is probably going to be taking over our social media posting. So we're very, very happy we have her. And now it is time for the thing that I feel like everybody's probably really here to see, which is we're going to get to meet our tech ambassadors. Okay, so we're going to start out in Southeast Ohio. So that region is going to include everybody from Athens to Chillicothe to Zanesville, Portsmouth, Gallipolis. All of you folks get ready to meet your tech ambassador. From Ironton, Ohio, meet Tanner Huff. Take it away, Tanner.
Hi, I'm Tanner, and I was born in Chesapeake, Ohio, and went to Chesapeake, where I went to school until I graduated from there. But what I am most excited about is the opportunity to tell you why I got into the tech ambassador field, because I got into it due to my dad, and he built a custom rail buggy and 2 custom bikes for me, because I haven't been able to ride a bike without assistance until he built them. And then that made me want to get into the accessibility field due to that and my own challenges. And due to all that, I had gave Chesapeake a $250,000 grant for accessibility reasons that they needed to improve upon. And then I went to Marshall University and Ohio University, and then at Ohio University I had gave them the ability to put in accessibility door buttons for like rooms that they needed to have them on, such as the bathrooms and the main office at the Ironton branch, due to the door being so heavy on them and people in wheelchairs not being able to get in very easy. And in the midst of all that with the universities, I had went to a local independent living center for the disabled in Huntington, West Virginia, which is right across the river from Chesapeake. But I have helped them since 2013 with doing volunteering, and with lately getting them like more involved in the accessibility and awareness around the city of Huntington by me going around and helping them get the word out on accessibility purposes. And then I have helped a local company, RCBI, with their Maker Vault program and getting it accessible to all individuals that want to create different like projects that they've wanted to do. And back to the bike stuff, the one of the pieces on that, or it might be the buggy, but one of the pieces was initially like they gave my dad the help that he needed on creating a piece or two on one of them, and now I'm helping them with their accessibility concerns. And then how I came to know about the tech ambassador like job is because I got a email from my SSA, which I really thank her that I have this opportunity, because it's an opportunity of a lifetime to do this. And due to that, I have actually also got the opportunity to be the first person in Lawrence County to get a service dog paid for through my waiver that I have. And I also have a chance to get on the board of DD for Lawrence County as well. But
That it, Tanner?
yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Great job. So you guys in Southeast Ohio can reach Tanner. You can email him at tanner@ohiotechambassadors.org. And he is there waiting for any questions or things you want to talk to him about if you live in that area. By the way, these emails are all available at our website as well. All right, next up is Central Ohio. All right, so Central Ohio, London, Marysville, Columbus, Lancaster, Circleville. Get ready to meet your tech ambassador. All right, from Columbus, Ohio, it's Marcy Straughter. Welcome, Marcy. Take it away.
Hello, Central Ohio. I'm about to give y'all some flavor, some advocacy flavor and some technology flavor. So get ready, put your seatbelts on, and I'm going to take y'all on a ride. Thank you for coming today. My name is Marcy Straughter, and I'm from Central Ohio. Thanks to all the organizations who have supported me. DLDD, OSDA, APSI, OSU Nisangler Center, OACB, We Thrive Together, and Franklin County Board of DD, and OPRA. I would like to offer a special thanks to DD Council, from who I worked from 2014 to 2020. Being on their technology committee allowed me to attend technology signing with Governor Kasich. For this, I am very grateful. My journey started in San Francisco, California, and over the years, my mom and I moved between Portsmouth, Columbus, and California. So often, they used to call us the Pilgrims. In Los Angeles, I attended Performing Arts Studio West, which was for people with disabilities. I wanted to enter the entertainment industry. I got to meet a lot of celebrities and to be on plays, movies, music videos, and commercials. Once back in Ohio, I got a job working at Arc Industry South. Here I was asked to go to the Project STIR state training. I loved it so much, I auditioned to be a state trainer. And guess what? I got to be a trainer. Project STIR has taught me to speak up for myself and learn my rights and responsibilities. When I see the graduates of the training, I'm proud that I got to help them on their journeys. I love being a Project STIR trainer. In 2015, I graduated from a program at Columbus State as a human service assistant. I started a job at Arc East, where I dedicated 5 long years. I have lived with my mom almost my entire life, but in 2017, she passed away. My mom was my rock, so it was so hard for me to decide what to do next. I tried living with several roommates, but eventually decided I wanted to try living independently. This was a challenge for me because I'd always lived with someone. I finally found a place, and I love it. I buy my own groceries, buy everything I need for my apartment, and pay my own bills. One of the biggest things that helps me live independently is assistive technology. throughout my home. I use Alexa for getting recipes and listening to music while cooking for my Marcy's Keeping It Cooking blog. I use my iPhone for taking pictures and typing in my blog. My remote support staff at Medford monitors my home in case of an emergency. I have a Ring doorbell so I can see who's at my door. If I don't know who is at my door, I don't answer. My left hand is weak and it's hard for me to use a key. So my provider found me a smart lock that lets me control the lock on my door with my phone. My remote support provider also makes sure my door is locked at night. I also have a smart smoke detector that will notify Medford and 911. They replaced the thermostat that was in my apartment with accessible Nest thermostat. It has large numbers that I could see. Remote support staff is also able to use Nest to monitor the temperature in my home. I have a med minder that lights up and unlocks my medication when it's time to take it. I also have a portal where I can talk to my Facebook friends on Messenger, and most importantly, my remote support staff when I need help with something. I like my direct support and remote support agency so much that the owner gave me a job, and I love it. If you would like to talk to me, you can reach me at marcy@ohiotechambassador.org. Thank you for coming today, and always remember to stir it up and keep it cooking. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Marcy. That is great. Okay. Next up is Northeast Ohio. So Cleveland, Akron, Youngstown, Steubenville. Get ready to meet your tech ambassador. Originally from Portsmouth, Ohio, it is Chris Cooley. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, George. My name is Chris Cooley. George was saying that, I'm from Portsmouth, Ohio. I was born and raised in Portsmouth, and I was born hearing impaired, and at age 17 became legally blind. I had an opportunity back in the day to go to Helen Keller National Center for the Deaf Blind. There, I learned how to communicate better. I learned how to be able to use electronic technology that could help me in my independence. And there, I also learned how to be independent. And so, as I was there for a year and a half, I came back to Ohio with all the things that I learned and put it into use in my life, in going in and out of my own home. I was able to move to Columbus, Ohio. And there I lived there for about 6, 7, maybe more years. So there I went to Pilot Dogs, and I got a guide dog for the blind, which is there in Columbus. And so I started seeing, after having my guide dog, I started seeing some access issues, people wanting to say no. And I'm the type of person, you don't want to tell me no, because I will show you. I can do it, and under the law, I can do it. And so I fight back, and I show them, and I try to educate them of the access issues. And I started a group called Guide Dog / Service Dog Night Out group. And that group was to get people out into the community, encourage people with disabilities to not be afraid to come out into the community and be yourself and enjoy your community. And, I started seeing with that group coming out and being able to encourage folks to come out. Had one lady tell me, "Oh, Chris, I was scared coming out at night, because I couldn't see very well, and my other disabilities." And I encourage her to come out. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Overcome those barriers. So I kind of helped her and guided her to overcome those barriers and got her out. And, every night that we had an outing, she was there. And she said, "Chris, this has been the best thing in my whole life, because half of my life I've been scared." And so, the access issues come up a lot. And so I started seeing them come up more and more. And so I went to our representatives, our Ohio congressman, Ohio House Speaker. And I said, something's got to be done, because there's so much denial in our community. And it has to stop, because, our community has to have to bridge those gaps together. And so we sat down with the House Speaker and the representatives, the congressmen and all of them, and the senators. And we ended up coming up with an idea, making a bill, which Ohio is the first of Ohio House 121 to pass a bill called, it's called Ohio Service Dog Awareness Week. You can find that on Facebook, Ohio Service Dog Awareness Week, which allows us to be able to get out there that week and educate people and help folks understand the law and the rules of service animals. And so by doing that, we got that passed, and we started doing walks, we started doing groups, and opening doors and getting people to understand the access of people with disabilities. No matter what it is, we want to be able to teach them about the access of people with disabilities and giving people with disabilities more independence to be able to go out into their community and enjoy it without having to worry about what might happen or what might not happen. All they need to worry about is enjoying themselves in the community. And so we have that. And so we decided, well, what week are we going to do it? What month are we going to do it? Well, I had a puppy raiser that was kind of helping me with everything, writing down everything, coming up with videos to help promote Service Dog Awareness Week. So she said, well, what about connecting and bridging the gap together and putting Ohio Service Dog with the same week at the ADA anniversary? So it's the last week of July, it's the ADA anniversary. Now it is Ohio Service Dog Awareness Week and ADA anniversary. And I love it because there's more power there. There's more, we can say, hey, it's the anniversary of ADA. And, a lot of people may not know what ADA is. So that gives us the opportunity to teach people about what ADA really means and what Service Dog Awareness Week means. And then into that, I was in Columbus, and I started having some issues and problems and things popping up and things, and didn't know how to handle it. And so I came back to Portsmouth, Ohio to spend a couple years here, and getting back into my own self and being able to live on my own. I contacted Scioto County Board of DD, which is awesome, by the way. And they sent out an SSA to help me because they already had my records from Columbus, so they didn't have to do a whole lot. So SSA came out. He sit and he heard. He sit and listened to me about the things that happened in Columbus that I feel like that they were going to happen here. And I didn't want my past to follow me. I didn't want the past to be there to haunt me. I want to be able to leave that past behind me and work on my future and be able to do all that. And so my SSA said, well, Chris, we've been thinking about getting in-home support technology, and you would be the first if you would like to try it out in Scioto County. I'd be the first. And I'm like, yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. And let me just tell you, when they came out and talked to me about it, and talking about putting a camera in my house, kind of like, nah. But then I thought, I want to be independent. I want to be safe. I want to feel like that my future is going to be a bright future, and my past won't come and haunt me anymore. And so when they came out and hooked everything up, and that very same day they hooked everything up, I was able to lay down and not even have to worry about it, with a peace of mind and safety, and knowing that the support team has my back. The technology has my back. And when I go out into the community, I don't have to worry about, maybe I might go down the wrong road or get detoured somewhere that I don't want to be. And so therefore, I have technology there that can help me stay on my path and keep my future going into the right direction. And I am very proud to say that I want to be an ambassador for everyone and be able to help bridge those gaps together. And, as I was talking to a remote support company and talking about how to connect those communities that are on a list that, that the technology folks are trying to figure out how to put it together and how to work with them. And so my goal is to help every company that deals with the technology support team and be able to educate them and show them different ways to take other things and connect their things together and make it more independent for them and be able to be more successful for folks to live independent and be themselves and able to go out into the community and be able to live their life independently. I am a big believer in independence. I am a big believer in access, and I am a big believer in accessibility, because when accessibility is not accessibility, I want to make that accessibility come true and teach folks about technology that can help you, that can be there for you. When I got the technology, in-home support technology, that was just like, I was like, wow, if I had this in the past, where would I be today? But God puts it somewhere where we are needed. And I believe for a reason, I've been put back in Portsmouth for a reason. So thank you all for coming out and supporting us. And Portsmouth, Ohio folks, don't worry. I'm going to help Tanner out, and we'll work together and make it great for you all.
All right. Thanks very much, Chris. We appreciate that. You guys can reach Chris at ohiotechambassadors.org. All right. Next up is the Southwest part of Ohio. So Cincinnati, Dayton, Xenia, get ready to meet your tech ambassador from Cincinnati. It is Robert Shoemake. Robert, welcome. Take it away. Robert, you're going to want to unmute yourself. Perfect.
Now unmuted.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Alexa, start timer for 7
Live
minutes.
transcript on
7 minutes, starting now.
173.
My name is Robert Shoemake, and I'm your for Southwest Ohio.
4 a.m. in Ohio is the same.
Alexa,
as 4
stop.
a.m. Eastern.
Sorry. I was born in 1969, back when technology was not available for people with disabilities. I started school in 1975,
3.
and I went to kindergarten to a typical kindergarten class. So I just remember not being able to participate very much in any academic activities.
2.
I did a lot of playing and interacting with the other kids. And then my mother decided, with the
1.
encouragement and advice
100.
from other, from the Hamilton County, she sent me to a school that was for all children with visual impairments. This is where I would be starting my long journey of learning how to be a child with a visual impairment and get along with everyone else in my classes in school. As I moved through the educational system, things began to get a little better. 3rd and 4th grade, I was able to use what they called a CCTV. It's a closed circuit television. If you could picture a monitor about probably a 15-inch maybe television screen with a camera hooked to the side of it that had a magnifier on the bottom, and you would put text print up under it and magnify it so I could see
100.
it. That worked a little bit only for spot work. I primarily had people who would read to me, and I would verbally give them the answers. I continued this through middle school up and until high school. My school years were very difficult for me as a person with a visual impairment. In the 70s, they weren't exactly sure how to teach a person with a visual impairment, except by teaching them Braille. And being the person I am, I resisted learning Braille because I felt I had too much sight, and I wanted to be like other kids. I used to get books from the library just like all the rest of the kids, and sit and act like I could actually read the book. I guess I was dreaming, but visualizing me reading a book and flipping pages and looking at pictures like everyone else. Um, all through school, my mother was I didn't know it at the time, but she was teaching me how to be independent, how to become an advocate for myself. By watching her advocate for me all through the school year. She did the best she could, with what was available at the time. I ended up dropping out of high school in the 10th grade. Something I'm not proud of, but I did go back when I was about 25 and get my GED. I studied 2 years with a tutor and 3 other males who were in their 50s and 60s who could not read. So we all had the commonality of not being able to read. So it took 2 years to work with me to get me to a point where I could be confident in taking the GED exam, state exam. As far as I know, I was one of the first in Ohio, definitely in Hamilton County,
160.
to take the GED exam, all 5 sections orally, and pass the exam. From that point on, this is about 2000 or 1995. I'm sorry. I started with the help of what is now called OOD. I got in and out of different academic programs to increase my reading comprehension, my spelling, my grammar. And then in 2000, I went back to OOD and asked them to send me to college. My mother is a college graduate from Purdue University. And I never thought about, oh, wow, already? Oh, okay, my time is just about up. So I'll just say that, Alexa, stop. I graduated from the University of Cincinnati in 5 years with a degree in social work. I began volunteering with Hamilton County DD Services.
George Myers says Microsoft Word.
And that began my journey of using accessible technology.
George Myers has stopped screen share.
I've been using accessible technology for the last 20 to 25 years, and it has evolved so much over time that it's allowed me to be able to hold a part-time job with the county, Hamilton County DD Services as an advocate, and also teach others how to access
160
resources in their community and technology as well. So I'm always available. You can reach me at any time, and I'd like to thank everyone for this blessed opportunity to reach out to all Ohioans with disabilities and share my story and information. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Robert. Wonderful. And you folks in Southwest Ohio can reach Robert at ohiotechambassadors.org. All right, Northwest Ohio, you are last but certainly not least. Get ready to meet your tech ambassadors. So Toledo, Findlay, Lima, even down to Springfield and over to Mansfield. Your tech ambassador is Nathan Turner.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, George. You're pumped. I'm pumped. Good morning, everybody. I'm so delighted you could join us to learn more about remote supports and accessible technologies and just how they can improve the quality of life for people with disabilities. I'm so eager for this project because I really have two main passions, advocacy and self-determination, and also technology. And I've spent the last 15 years working on advocacy, self-determination, and equality in the disability community. And I'm deeply passionate about how technology can help people with disabilities reach their full potential. Kind of as George said, I'm from Holland, Ohio, which is a suburb of Toledo. So I want to give a very warm welcome and shout out to everyone from the Northwest Ohio region. I know my friend Katie is on the call today, and I want to extend a very special thank you to her for everything she's done and for joining us today. And to let you know a little bit more about myself, as I said, I was born and raised in Holland. I attended Springfield local schools in Lucas County, and at that point, I decided to go away for university. And if you ever want to learn more about yourself and about all of the supports that are available to you and just how to learn and grow as a person, I highly recommend to folks who are able to get the right supports and are interested to go away to university because you will do all of those things. I can't promise it's going to be easy for you, but you will learn about yourself along the way and make great contacts. So as I said, I decided to go away for university, and ultimately I was educated in political science and international studies from Wright State University, and I chose that specifically because of the physical, academic, and social supports that the university offered. Oh, excuse me. Um, and some of the highlights during my time at university included being involved in student government, being involved in creating an organization for students with disabilities, and also I got a really unique opportunity to attend the National Model United Nations Conference in New York City 4 times, and I got awards for my participation in that conference, and I'm just really proud of that experience. And at the same time, I wanted to broaden my advocacy network, so I was appointed it was a gubernatorial. I had a gubernatorial appointment to the Ohio Statewide Independent Living Council, and I also got to serve on the National Council on Disability Youth Advisory Committee and the National Youth Leadership Network as their secretary treasurer. And these experiences really gave me a foundation for my advocacy today locally when I returned home. And what you're seeing on screen here is as a result of I took projects during 2017 and I graduated from that and worked with the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities to establish Self Advocates Lucas Toledo, which is their self-determination organization. And you're seeing on the screen, I've got 2 awards for advocacy from the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities. There's a special letter from the Ohio Senate that's behind that, recognizing me for those awards. And then I also got an award from Courageous Community Services for my advocacy as well this year. And I'm really proud of those experiences. I got to develop presentations on the disability community interacting with law enforcement. I'm really focused on this community employment and the impact of work on public benefits, as well as advocacy and rights education, among other topics. Um, one second. So, and my efforts with Salutes have led to me becoming on the board of directors for the Lucas County Board of Disabilities, and I also serve on the board of directors for Legal Aid of Western Ohio and the Ohio Self-Determination Association. And I'm also regularly involved with my local Center for Independent Living, the Ability Center of Greater Toledo, and the Adult Advocacy Centers, among other local organizations. Since one of my passions about technology, as I said, is helping people with disabilities become more independent with it. And I really like to educate on technology. And one of the most effective ways to do this is to do it with common things that people already have. And excuse me, and digital assistants are in so many different devices nowadays. Just in front of me, I've got 4 devices with a digital assistant, and I'm not even going to try what Robert did, activating the device, because I'll have 4 devices screaming at me at once, and I don't want to do that. But I just excuse me, I just know that with the right education, these digital assistants that are in the phones that we all have can give people with disabilities a new level of independence. I'm going to focus on devices in the Google ecosystem because of the affordability and widespread use of the devices, but there are many different kinds and they're similar. I work in the community as a freelance data annotator, and I support many of these assistants in my day-to-day work. They help me in so many ways with respect to a lot of basic information, whether general information, math, definitions and grammar, recipes. They also do a lot of device action and media playback depending upon what accounts are connected to them. So you can play videos from Netflix and HBO Max and YouTube and any other type of media playback that's compatible with the service. Excuse me. And another important piece is home automation, which would include doorbells, locks, thermostats, smoke detectors, refrigerators, and many other different devices. And another reason why this is so important for people with really significant physical disabilities is because there is a shortage of staff available to help with some of these things. So if technology can bridge that void, it's going to ease the strain on having a staff person while also allowing individuals to be more independent and meeting their own needs. And also too with productivity in terms of keeping a schedule, medication reminders, doctor's appointments, but being able to make phone calls and stay connected with one's community at the same time is just really, really important. And as I said, the goal is to increase independence and hopefully in some cases decrease reliance on staff. So I'm truly looking forward to explaining these technologies in an accessible way and learning more about how you all interact with digital assistants in your daily lives. I really do want to be a resource for everyone on anything related to technology, my advocacy work, or my personal experiences. Feel free to contact me at nathan@ohiotechambassadors.org if you have any questions. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you. And are there any questions in chat that I missed? I didn't get to see them, so I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right. We're going to take a look at those here in just a second if we have time. Thank you very much, Nathan. Thanks to all of our tech ambassadors. Thanks to our core team, and thanks to all of you who joined us today on this little part of our journey. We really, really appreciate it. Let's just take a quick look at a Q&A here. It does look to me like all of the questions that we had been answered. So I'll tell you what we're going to do in the interest of time here, because we are just a little bit past 11:30, is we'll look through that list of questions and we may post those questions and answers to social media and to our website in case you guys want to check those out later. So again, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and sign off for today, but have a great day and a we hope that you'll join us on other parts of this journey. Bye, everyone.